Hi everyone, welcome to Picture Book Mondays with Miss Marie. This week we are going to take a look at 3 new books to our collection. They are unique in each and every way, but all of these books, they kind of dabble in lessons on how your friends and family relationships are formed by experiences and just by observations that you take as a child and as an adult. So let's get started. Our first book is called Hike. This book is written and also illustrated by Oswald. The publisher is Candlewick Press. What's great about this book is that the illustrations that are used are really those are the not the words, but the illustrations really tell the story. There are very few words in this book, so you as a reader and as an observer notice how the father and the child's relationship is and how it grows and forms as they go on their outing. So you have the father and the child, and they live in a suburb outside of a big city. Okay. And let's see. So you start off with in the morning, the dad's getting coffee and he's, getting ready for the day. Then you have the child who wakes up and remembers it's the day to hike. So children get excited about all of these field trips and little things that you do as families. The illustrations are wonderful because they are very detailed with shading and just colors. And you can see them traveling off to the mountain. They find animal prints. They look at different bugs. So they really stop and they take notice of what's around them. So a positive note on this outing during the day here. And yeah, there are some trials and tribulations that they have to go through and some definitely difficult situations. Do they make it? Yeah. So you will have to check out this story, Hike. It's a positive one, and please take a look, especially if you are looking to do a family trip out in the woods. Our next book is called In a Jar. It is written and illustrated by Deborah Marcero. The illustrator is G.P. Putnam's Sons from Random House. So we have 2 characters here. They are bunnies. So children always love bunnies in picture books. And what Marcero does is that she expresses friendship and growing of a friendship and how friendships begin just by something, just a trivial moment that we might forget that is so tiny that it's the most important moment. So we have our character here. He likes to collect different things. So, and everything that he collects symbolizes something in nature, which is really neat. Then one day he's collecting heart-shaped stones and feathers. Then he meets someone else as he's collecting. And so he decided, hey, she's a really nice person when I met her. I'm going to collect something and give it to her, just as a token of me appreciating her time that she spent with me and that how she met me. And Evelyn took the jar home and she realized how beautiful those items were in the jar. then they started this friendship and they started going on adventures together and collecting things together too. So the first character started a hobby with another character. And it keeps going until one day Evelyn says goodbye. Does that tear apart our little bunny here? You'll have to see. This is a beautiful story about friendship and how friendships can continue even though you're long and far away from each other and there's a long distance between you. Please take a look at this in a jar book. Then the last book that I would like to share is Who Will You Be? Written and illustrated by Andrea Pippins. And this is published by Schwartz and Wade Books. This story looks at relationships in a different way. It's a parent looking at their child and wondering those questions. Who are you going to turn out to be like? Me, your father, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles. What would you like to grow up to be? So simple language again. For example, it says there's loving kindness in your eyes like your daddy's. You can definitely spark some discussions while reading this book about how the child's eyes look like dad's, what their facial features look like, their height, all of that. And this one, as boldness in your heart like your grandma, will you be like them? And it's all those thought-sparking moments in this book that is absolutely amazing. And it's really nice to just take a break from everything going on in your life and sit down with your family and discuss this and read this story. You know, will you be like your cousin Gigi who gives really big hugs? Your big dark eyes take in the world. Will you be curious like your uncle? It's a lot of different aspects that they're talking about in everyday life that we encounter. Will that be you as a child growing up? So I hope that you take a look at all three of these stories. They do a nice job with their illustrations and with their language about talking about relationships on all different levels, which is a great way to have and add stories to your family story time. I hope you enjoy this. We'll see you next week. Bye.